All right, today's project, we got the new Rancho quick lift shocks for my 2016 Chevy Silverado. So it's about that time. I got to replace them anyway, so I figured I'd wait till right around that 100,000 mile, and then replace them with the new quick lift shocks that lifts the front end up and makes it more leveled out, so you can fit up to like 33-inch size tires and give it that more even unraked look. So let's see what's in the box. So, Rancho, there's the part number for these guys. All right, so right off the bat, there's a nice finish on these guys. They are definitely heavy duty. So you get only one shock per box. So when you go on the website, any website, make sure you order two. Otherwise, you'll just get one. So the price is always for one unless they verify that it's for two. But anyways, they give you a little sticker here, and they give you your hardware, all necessary nuts and bolts to get her going. So let's start the disassembly process before we can install them. All right, before we actually start installing, let's get some quick measurements, see where we're at. So the lowest point would be probably right here in the front, from this air dam thing to the ground. And it looks like we are at a little over 9 inches. I would say 9 1/4. All right. And our next one is going to be our fender from the ground. And that leaves us right at, I would say, 36 3/8. And just for fun, let's do the back. We are at 39 3/8. Wow. So that's where we're at. The next thing we're going to do is loosen the nuts on the tires, both sides. Then we'll jack it up and start taking off the top bolts to the strut. All right, so with the wheels loosened, I jacked it up, was able to get the wheel off completely and expose our whole front strut. So these are our stock Ranchos that came with the Z71 package. They have 96,000 on them. They're definitely due, so the upgraded quick lift ones are going to be a nice add-on to this truck. All right, so with the wheel off, we have all the space. You can see the top 3 bolts of the strut, and each one of them have this kind of black cap covering them. So I grab a long screwdriver and just kind of get in there and pop it off like so, and she's off. So you got to do that to all 3 of these top ones up here. And then I got an 18mm wrench. You can actually attack them from this back side here, or you can go through the top with an 18-inch extension and socket. Either way, I'll let you know kind of what I prefer, but I'll loosen all those guys up first, and then we'll attack the 2 lower bolts down here. I believe those ones are 17mm, not 18. And then we're going to try and get this strut out with actually disconnecting the control arm or the tie rod. We should be able to sneak it out as long as we disconnect the sway bar end link. We should be able to lower it just enough and slip it out behind and get her out. So next step, loosen those bolts. So using the wrench from the underside here was by far the easiest. They weren't even like super tight either. It helps having a ratchet wrench, definitely. If you don't have one, definitely get one, because it seemed like that was super easy. So the top 3 nuts are off the top, and the bottom 2 studs are out, and there they are. So the bottom bolts are 15s, and then those top nuts are 18s, and then the sway bar end link, I'm actually working on that one right now, and that one is a 15 as well. So once I get that off, then I'll be able to drop this whole front a little bit, and then hopefully be able to slide that shock out from the back side there. Okay, so I have the sway bar end link disconnected now. You'll take off this top nut, which is a 15 millimeter, and then you got the little bushing there. So you can set those guys off to the side. Then I push it down on the rotor and everything so I could get this board in between the lower control arm and the sway bar. So that's kind of pinned in there. And with all the bolts loosened on the strut, this thing basically just falls right out because it relieves the pressure here. So cool. Now let's see if we can just slide it out through the back like butter. All right, I need 2 hands, but as you can see, I already moved it that far. So I'm gonna kick it back a little bit more, kind of angle it down and calm down, and show you. All right, got her out. So yeah, like I said, just back the bottom side out here. You'll have to back it towards underneath the vehicle until you get the top studs from the strut tower free from the bracket here, and then you'll have to angle the whole top this way and come out through the top. You cannot just go through the bottom. This gap between your tie rod and your steering shaft is not wide enough for it to actually drop through the bottom. So, but once you get that bottom over, pop it through the top. So let's go look at them. Shoe. We have the old one right here, right next to the new one. Right off the bat, you can already see it's quite a bit different. So definitely a little bit longer. Right here on these new ones, I'm sure if you ordered these, you already know all the details about them, but there's this adjustment knob, and it has like 0 through 9 or 1 through 9 adjustment settings for how stiff you want your ride, 1 being the least, all the way up to 9, which is the heaviest. I think I've read somewhere online like the happy medium is like setting 4. When you get the new shocks in the back, I think they're like 9500s or whatever, you will have the same adjustment screw. Just make sure you set them, I guess, to the both or however you like, whatever. So I particularly gonna set mine on probably 5, just so they're a little bit stiffer, because I do haul some heavy loads from time to time and put a camper on here, but for the most part, I don't need it super stiff. So the install is going to be basically a reverse of the taking it apart. So we're going to start with putting the bottom end in and then kind of angle it up, and then we're going to get 1 bolt through the hole on top, get a nut on there, and then it's going to hold it while we swing over the bottom and get these 2 bottom studs in. So, and they do give you new hardware, like I said. But another thing, make sure this red adjustment knob is facing out towards the road and not in towards the vehicle, like towards the motor. So have this facing towards you. All right. And the new strut is in. I got all the bolts loosely tightened right now, finger tight. So you got the 2 bottom ones for the bottom strut, and we got the 3 upper ones. So both the top nuts and the bottom ones are going to be torqued to 37 foot-pounds, and then the sway bar end link is going to be 17 foot-pounds. So get a torque wrench out and torque those to spec, and you should be able to put the wheel on put her down and go to the other side. Do the same thing, repeat. Then I'll show you what it looks like in its final stands. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we are complete. And end results, it bumped the front end up 3 inches. So yeah, we got, I think it was like 9 inches before. Now we're at 12 of clearance. We could actually take off that air dam thing and get another couple more inches if we really wanted to. But just the look, so much more appealing with it being leveled out like that. And it rides really nice too. I ended up putting the settings on the shocks to 5. I was reading right between 4 and 5 is a good happy medium of not too stiff and not too soft. So I will get the adjustable ones in the back just to match them. They're due anyways too. So, but we did go for a test drive and it's wonderful. It works really, really, really good. I highly recommend them. Now we can go up to 35s and increase those tires, get some new tread on. Oh, don't forget, get an alignment done. Awesome.